Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for the sixth installment in the horror franchise I am currently reviewing, and that's of course for none other than the Friday 13th franchise, where I got through 5 of the movies, and now we are on to the 6th, and guess what guys? What is my number one favorite Friday the 13th movie ever? We are finally at the number one best movie for me, and that of course goes to none other, obviously, Friday 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. This one is always my number one favorite Friday the 13th movie ever. It's just so epic to watch. It's humorous, it's entertaining, it's really just enjoyable from start to finish. This is the one I have the most fun watching. Well, along with Final Chapter and Part 2. But yeah, and this would also be pretty much the last good Friday the 13th movie for a while, that is. Well, for for quite a while, that is, until 2003. But anyway, so how did this all go? Well, y'all remember Jason Voorhees was originally supposed to die after the final chapter, so they decided to make a fifth one anyway, but bring in a new killer this time. Fans hated that idea, so they went back and brought back Jason Voorhees for this next movie, which was released in 1986. And now it's, of course, for this film. Yeah. It would also be the last one to feature Tommy Jarvis as the protagonist, which is kind of a shame, because we should have seen more of this dude. I mean, heck, we should have seen Tommy Jarvis come back in Freddy vs. Jason, at least try to guide those teens in getting away from Jason Voorhees. Well, until he started having that showdown with Freddy Krueger. But we'll get to Freddy vs. Jason several reviews to come. But anyway, what is this film about? Well, years ago, Tommy Jarvis killed the infamous hockey mask-wearing serial killer Jason Voorhees when he was a kid, and the intensity of the experience landed him in a mental institution, like in Part 5. To end this torment and achieve a sense of closure, Tommy escapes from the institution and heads to the graveyard where Jason is buried, intending to dig up the body and cremate it for good. But before this total annihilation can occur, a freak electrical accident revives Jason from the dead, and the terror begins anew. Yeah. Like, when this film came out, it was surprisingly liked about on the same level critics liked the first one. It was pretty much the first Friday the 13th movie to receive any kind of positive reception from critics since the original first movie in 1980. And of course, it was pretty much known for rejuvenating the Scream series, especially with its humorous moments, its fourth wall breaks, and this movie even kind of pokes fun at all the Friday the 13th cliches. Like, Friday the 13th is known for having so many slasher movie cliches. This movie actually kind of can make fun of them at times, and even is kind of very self-aware. Like, I really liked how this movie decided to just have fun with the cliches, and it's just so self-aware at how stupid some moments can be kind of in this franchise, and this one really recognized that, and I really love that about this movie. But what are all the other great things? Well, of course, it's also an improvement from Part 5, A New Beginning. Guess what, guys? You don't actually need to watch Part 5 because they don't mention anything out of this movie. You could just skip Part 5 and I don't think you'd really miss a thing. Plus, that movie doesn't even have Jason in it, so yeah, to me, this is the true Part 5 we should have got. Yeah, Jason Voorhees is back and more terrifying than before. Yeah, this is easily the best portrayal of Jason Voorhees, in my opinion. I mean, right along with along with the final chapter. Sure, and the remake, Jason. So yeah. And Tommy Jarvis is once again a great protagonist. Even Tom Matthews also gives a pretty good performance as Tommy Jarvis. So yeah, Megan Garce is a decent love interest too, I will admit that. Because a lot of the love interests in Friday the 13th are really mediocre or just terrible, but this one's actually kind of decent, and there's even some memorable side characters like Martin the Gravedigger, and there's even still quite a few creepy moments in here too, and the gore and kill effects are very well executed, and once again, you got Harry Manfredini's greatest musical score ever, probably the best musical score of this series, and its writing is very well done, especially for a Friday 13th movie. Friday 13th movie is also known to have some pretty not very good writing. Then again, it's a slasher series, but the writing's pretty well done here. The opening and climax are very gripping and intense, too, and this and despite most sequels that seem to where a villain gets revived, it just kind of ends up being worthless. No, this one actually really kind of does it well. Like I know bringing back Jason would have seemed like a stupid idea, but back then in the 80s, if you're a slasher franchise, any random killers come always gonna come back. Like Michael Myers was supposed to be dead at Halloween 2, but he came back in Halloween 4 because fans did not like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch at the time. Now more fans are praising that movie. Friday 13th Part 5, no one liked it because Jason was not in it. And some people even still hate it to this day because it doesn't have Jason Voorhees in it. So they bought back Jason Voorhees. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I guess, kind of qualifies. I mean, Freddy Krueger was barely even in the movie that much, and fans really were unhappy about that. When Freddy did appear, it was not till the very damn end of the movie he appears, but so yeah. Those are the three that seem to ditch their killers completely, and fan complaints pretty much are forcing them to bring those killers back. But of course, even like Rob Zombie did this move with his Firefly family characters 14 years damn late with Three from Hell. Then again, that should not have. That was a stupid idea. That movie was a stupid idea to begin with. Because the Firefly family are not Jason Voorhees or Leatherface or Michael Myers. But anyway, back to Friday 13th, and there's still some pretty good acting, and for the most part, the humor is very well timed and actually funny, and the atmosphere is pretty eerie and well done, and the fun factor is very high. So yeah, those moments are exactly why this is my favorite film in the series. Now, there's still some bad qualities, although not as much bad qualities as some of the other Friday 13th movies, and because there are a few moments that do drag, and there's a few jokes that do kind of not work. And Sheriff Garris, I think, is pretty unlikable, but he does redeem himself before Jason kills him, and this quote pretty much sums up the film perfectly. If you think it's hard to keep a good man down, try keeping down a bad one. So yeah. Now those are kind of the only bad qualities, really. Only 3 bad qualities for this, and not really much. Yeah, I think this one probably has the least amount of bad qualities for a Friday 13th movie. So yeah. And honestly, I think if the series ended here, and then we got Freddy vs. Jason afterwards, actually no. And then we got Jason Goes to Hell afterwards, because technically that movie does set up Freddy vs. Jason. That movie does kind of come first, before Freddy vs. Jason. I wouldn't mind that, because literally every other sequel we got after this was bad. Okay, no, not bad. Well, one of them was definitely bad. They were just not that great. The rest of the ones after this were not that great, with one of them being the worst, which is starting to get closer and closer as more and more I review this series. But yeah, so if you're a fan of the Friday 13th and want to get that good magic of the original 4 movies, definitely check this movie out. You don't even need to watch Part 5 to watch this. You can consider this the true Part 5, the true film, the true sequel to the final chapter. And then yeah. And there you go. So anyway, here's how I'm going to obviously rank Jason Lives.
I am going to give Friday the 13th 6 a 10 out of 10.
Alright, 6 down and 6 more to go. Yeah. So, we all know the next one is obviously going to be, well, it's probably going to be the second most boring one. Yeah. Next one is obviously The New Blood. The one that had all the great kills cut down, come on, like, if those kills were kept, like, that movie could have been actually kind of decent and still also enjoyable. But no, they just destroyed the original footage, and now we're never gonna get those awesome kills, which stinks. But anyway, that will be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.